So we're out here on this slightly breezy evening, and we thought we'd give you a walkthrough and show you what all we have growing in our garden. On our last tour, it was right after we had a whole lot of rain and we were having a hard time getting anything to grow. But I'm happy to say that things are looking a lot better. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start over here with our tomatoes. They've really taken off and they're growing so well. I'm really impressed with these tomatoes right here. Because when I planted them, they had been sitting in the greenhouse forever and they were really stressed and they were long and gangly. But they came out of it and they are looking really good. I'm trying to get out of the wind. So anyway, I just wanted to say that if you are planting tomatoes and you start them and they don't look the greatest, go ahead and plant them anyway because they will come out of it and they will do really well. Yes, Miley? Oh my gosh! Miley found our first cucumber of the season.
Wait, this is the first one?
Yes.
I thought you found some before this.
No. I've been looking and looking all over that plant and I just have never been able to find any. So
this one was
yay.
Clear in the back. Like
all right.
Up against the thing. And like where the wood was too.
Awesome. Anyway, as I was saying about our tomatoes, we don't have any ripe ones yet, but I did plant them late in the season, so I'm not really expecting any for another week or two, which is great in my opinion because next week is the fair and I'm not going to have any time to pick them or do anything with them, so I'm actually happy that they're going to be late this year. I also want to point out, look at the basil. It is just beautiful this year. I haven't harvested any of it yet this year either, and I need to get that done before it gets too old.
The cucumbers are for sure overtaking.
Yes, they
everything.
are. Miley got the first one, and I wish I'd have been able to find that one a little sooner because it looks a little bit overripe, but at least we have one.
You need to look intensely at them.
I'm almost betting that there's probably more in here. You just can't really see them very well, but as you can see, there's like little ones.
Look at all the
small ones coming on.
Look at all the ones up here.
Oh wow, look at that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 at least.
I bet you those will be just right for you to take to the fair next week.
Hopefully.
Yep. Then we got some medium-sized ones. There's a smaller one, and there's a medium one, and then I noticed over here there's a couple. You see those two right there? Right there. Miley's having a hard time seeing them.
No, I thought you were talking to the camera, not me.
I was waiting for you.
I thought you were talking to the camera, not me.
Okay.
Yes, I see them.
Okay, good. I was beginning to wonder about you, Miley. The peppers are going crazy too. They're getting very tall. I'm thinking that the shade cover doesn't allow enough light, so it's causing them to grow tall. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave it that way because it gets so insanely hot in here if I don't keep it covered. Don't put anything on me. What is it?
A little tiny baby cucumber.
Oh.
It was stuck to my shirt.
I thought it was a worm. Or a bug.
Little tiny thing.
If you look at this one right here, it's just got tons and tons of blooms on it. And this one over here, it's kind of covered by the cucumbers. I keep trying to push the cucumbers back, but they keep overtaking it. I don't know if these have them on them yet. Oh, they're starting. So I'm going to be really interested to see how tall they grow. Hopefully, maybe by the end of the summer, they'll be as tall as the greenhouse. Then over here, I got some basil. As you can see, it's kind of starting to bolt. We planted a couple of small cherry. There's like a sun gold type tomato. And so I've got them growing up there. They've just started blooming. They're not putting out near as many blooms as the ones outside. And again, I think it's probably just because of the shade. Probably what I need to do is get a different shade cover that doesn't shade it so much, because this is one of the heavier ones. And then here's one of Miley's marigolds. That thing is not blooming, but it is just growing like crazy. I think we're just going to have a big marigold bush this year.
I feel like this year's more of a bushy year.
It is more of a bushy year. Then over here is the chard, and it's doing really good. I need to harvest it, cut some of it back, so that way it'll continue to grow. And down here I'm in the process of pulling all of our radishes. They kind of went crazy on us and grew really tall. But I'm just going to clear this all out and leave it for a little while, and then I'm going to plant some lettuce and radishes later on in the fall. It's been really odd because early on I wanted to kind of just pull them all out and throw them away, but every time I did, I pull them out and they look really good. I mean, this one doesn't look so good now, but earlier on they'd be this size with these great big old long stems on them. They'd actually still be good to eat. They would taste good and everything. So that's kind of why I kept them, but you know, now they're long overdue.
Look at this little tiny thing, but it's so... I can't even show you.
Again, I'm pretty sure...
long thing. Still going. There.
Again, I'm pretty sure that that is due to the shade. Maybe.
It's like... What's it about being as tall as me?
Yep. And then out here is a really mess. That is where the onions are, or used to be. That place kept getting flooded when it rained all the time. The onions didn't really grow so great, and then I could never get in there to weed because it was so darn muddy. And so it just kind of got overgrown and I've left it, but I'm fixing to take care of it with a weed eater soon. And then next year I'm either thinking about possibly putting in a raised bed right here, or we need to bring in a lot more dirt and kind of raise it up so that way it doesn't flood so much. But over here we have a sunflower and some 4 o'clocks, and they're all blooming and looking very beautiful. And then Miley's zinnias. They are looking really beautiful this year. We have a big sunflower. It's still growing yet. Whoa!
Hello.
Hello, are you following me?
Yes.
And then right here, 3 rows of green beans. I'm wanting to get a couple of rows of green beans planted this week. I don't know if I'll get it done or not. I was going to do it today, but then I discovered that I didn't have any seeds. So I need to go to town and get some seeds. And then maybe about a week or so after the fair, I want to plant another couple rows. So that way we have like 3 different crops of green beans coming on, hopefully at 3 different times. And I want to try to get a bunch of them canned this year because I didn't hardly can any last year. So this is the year I need to get the pantry stocked back up on green beans. And then right there's our cantaloupe patch. And we have 2 watermelon plants. They've kind of been a little bit slow growing, but they're doing good, I think.
There's a little tiny baby watermelon on this one and that one.
Oh, they have watermelon on them. Oh my goodness.
This one has a little tiny hole in it though, right there. But
that's so cute.
And then there's another one on that one.
Oh,
right there.
Right there.
Oh, there's a tinier one on this one.
Oh, and another one right there. Hello, chickens. How are you this evening? They're all gonna come over, talk to us. But anyway, right here we have some mint, and then right there is some stevia, and just some more mint, just different varieties. And this thing is really interesting. This is a marigold, and you can see it's fixing to bloom here before long. And then it's got like a morning glory, we think anyway, growing up it. Then over here's the okra, and we've been harvesting some of that. And then we got the zucchini here, and unfortunately it's taken a hit. We've got squash bugs, and I'm suspecting vine borers in here. And so I heavily powdered it, which I don't really like to do. I'm trying 8 powder this year. I'm doubtful that it'll do any good because usually nothing that I try does very well. So I guess we'll just have to see. I really think it'll be a matter of time before these 2 are gone. Every single year we have a horrendous time with the squash bugs, and every single year I always swear that I'm going to quit planting squash. But then every single year when we start to plant seeds, I think of zucchini and how much I love it and how I really would love to grow it, so we go ahead and try it. But one of these years I'm going to learn and not plant it for a couple of years, and hopefully the squash bugs will go away for a while or something. But anyway, we've gotten 1 zucchini so far, and it was delicious. And hopefully we can get at least a couple more before the bugs take completely over.
Mom, did you make that like the thing that has a bunch of green stuff in it that you fried?
Yes.
That has zucchini.
Yes, that had zucchini in it. Wasn't it good? It was delicious, wasn't it?
I didn't eat any of it. I don't like zucchini and whatever the other stuff in it.
You like chocolate zucchini cake though, right?
No.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
You don't like any zucchini?
Not really. I don't remember what it tastes like, so I can't tell you.
The other day I harvested a zucchini and I harvested some okra. And what else did I harvest?
Okra, that's what was in my bag.
Some Swiss chard.
I don't like okra either.
And I got some onions. And I think I threw some green peppers in it. I don't remember what all I threw in it. But anyway, I sauteed it all. And then we had steaks. And anyway, that whole entire dinner was 100% homegrown. And it was really awesome.
It was?
Mm-hmm. Then over here I have a tomato. I ran out of room over on the other side of the garden, and so I just decided to go around and poke tomatoes wherever I could find a space. I have another one right here, and I need to hurry up and get a cage around it. There's our duckies. Over here's the peppers. They've started to get a few buds on them right there. And then I'm trying some barrels this year, and in here I planted carrots, and none of them have come up yet. I'm kind of losing hope on that. And then over here I'm trying some sweet potatoes. For the longest time these little vines looked horrible after I planted them. I think they went into a big time shock, but here lately they've kind of come out of it and they're looking a lot better.
What was in here?
Oh, I can't remember what I planted in here. Oh, spinach. There's just one little one coming up right there. For some reason, here lately, I've had the hardest time getting spinach to grow. I don't know, maybe it's my seeds. I need to go maybe try buying some more seeds and planting and seeing how that works. And then over here are some more zucchinis. And I planted some radishes in there, and they're up. I also have some nasturtiums in there. I'm not so sure if they even came up either. I've heard that if you plant radishes and nasturtiums in with your squash, it kind of helps keep the squash bugs away. So anyway, if maybe my crop over there gets wiped out, maybe these will go on to produce and we might get some more zucchini later on in the season. And then I have 3 cucumber plants right there. I planted them kind of over on that edge so that way I can curve a fence right in there, and then that way they can just grow up. Since we've been kind of having a really wet season, the corn around here in the fields just looks amazing. In fact, the corn out in front of our house across the roadway is just so incredibly beautiful. So a little while ago, when things weren't really growing that great in the garden, I decided to try growing some corn. So I went and found some corn that takes the shortest possible time to grow, and I planted it. At the moment I can't remember what the variety is, but you know, it's looking pretty good. I'm thinking in September sometime it'll be ready to pick. Then over here we have some morning glories, and we also bought a vining flower. It's right there, it's blooming. Down here we have some pole beans, and I'm not sure if they're blooming yet. Oh, they are starting to right there. used to have a cantaloupe plant growing right there, and it was doing really good. But the ducks got out the other day and ate it, as you can see.
They ate it?
I think it was the ducks.
They're becoming more brats than we thought.
They also got out and they also ruined all of Brooke's succulents that she had planted in there. And then right here is another cantaloupe plant. I have it planted over on the opposite side of the fence. Then back there is our pumpkins and sunflowers. We had a couple of free-ranging roosters when we planted those, and after we planted them, I forgot about the roosters being out, and they went and they ate all of our seeds, so we hardly had any pumpkins come up, and we didn't have any. They also ate our sunflower seeds too, so we had to kind of like replant. And what I did is I started them in little cups, and then once they got started, I planted them out there, and a few of them came up and they're taken off, so I think we'll have a nice crop as long as the squash bugs and vine borers stay away from them. I planted sweet potatoes all along the fence right here with hopes of training them to go up the fence, but I just haven't taken time to come out here and train them up the fence. This is the back side of our tomato fence. I'm really excited about our tomato setup this year. I think it's looking really good, and I think it's going to make it a whole lot easier to pick the tomatoes. Let's see, this week we're really busy getting around for the fair, and then next week is the fair, and then after that hopefully we can come back and we'll start harvesting stuff from the garden. I'm really wanting to hit canning hard this year, so hopefully there'll be a lot of canning videos coming up. Hopefully once the fair's done and over, things will kind of settle down busy-wise for us, and I can try to get videos out on a more regular basis.
It's kind of scattered right now.
Yeah, very scattered. That just describes our whole life right now. It's very scattered. Oh, I know something else. Well, that'll be it for now. So,
what is the other thing I want to know?
Oh, I was going to talk about the piano. For Miley's birthday, well, it wasn't really for your birthday, but anyway, Miley told me a couple of days before her birthday that she really wanted to learn how to play the piano. And I was like, oh my gosh, you should have told me that earlier, because then I could have bought you like a keyboard or something like that for your birthday, because I had no idea what to get her for her birthday. And so anyway, the next day or so after she told me that, we found a free piano on Facebook somebody had.
I was like, I want a piano. Next day, we found the piano.
Yeah, there was a piano. And so we got it. And so our house is a mess because it's a huge piano and it was really heavy. We had no place for it. Our house is really small, and we got it and it's in the middle of the living room, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what were we thinking? Because it's just, our house is just a disaster. Anyway, I've been trying to declutter and downsize and everything and get a bunch of stuff out of the house so that way we can put the piano in a certain spot. And it's just a very slow process with everything else going on. Anyway, we'll show you that sometime, but I gotta get the house into shape first. So anyway, that's where we're gonna just go for now, and we will see you next video.